Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta Adi Lila, Chapter 5, text number 205. Jagai Mada Haite Muni Sepa Pishta Puri Shera Kitta Haite Muni Selagishta. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. I am more sinful than Jagai and Madhai, and even lower than the worms in the stool. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we are continuing with this chapter number 5, and Narottam Das is continuing to pray. These are all his prayers, and we will see that his prayers emphasize on devotion. And Srila Prabhupada mentions that the spiritual growth of a person depends on chanting and remembering Krishna. See, others can do everything for us. They can cook for us, clean for us, or whatever. Just a minute. I'm in a class. Is it something urgent? It's in the backpack. Okay. Yes. Yeah, just look. I'm in a class. I'm giving a class right now. Sorry about that. Where were we? Others can do everything for us, whether it is cooking, cleaning, you know, talking to us, so much, everything everyone can do. But spirituality, only we have to do. No one can chant for us. No one can read for us. We say, okay, you chant and I get the credit. It doesn't work like that. Okay, hold on. Looks like this is something urgent. So, material. So, as I was saying, others can do everything for us, but spirituality, we have to do ourselves. No one can chant for us, no one can do seva for us, because if they do, they get the credit, right? So, Srila Prabhupada explains, even Narottam Das Thakur is saying that to uplift ourselves, we have to make that effort. Otherwise, it's not possible. We need to work on ourselves. Like they say, Krishna helps those who help themselves, right? So we make that effort. In the previous verse, Narottam Das Thakur says that unless one is freed from all material desires, unless, till then we cannot understand Krishna or his supreme abode. Srila Prabhupada says, even if we have a tinge of material desire, we cannot go back to the spiritual world. And we cannot understand Vrindavan, we cannot understand Radha and Krishna. So, Narottam Das Thakur says that if we follow in the footsteps of 6 Goswamis, right? The 6 Goswamis we have heard so much about. There's beautiful prayer, right, about the 6 Goswamis. So unless we go through the 6 Goswamis and the Parampara, unless we get the mercy of Radha and Krishna and Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we cannot progress. And he says that we should consider, he's considering himself more sinful than Jagai and Madai. We have heard about Jagai and Madai, right? Those two most sinful people, where were they? Yes, Yes. So they were so sinful, no one can compare. Prabhupada says Chandragupta that, writes the account of all the sinful activities, his computer was crashing because it was overloaded with their sinful activities. They were so sinful. I heard Janardhan Maharaj saying that Jay and Vijay, right? They had three births as demons. This was their fourth birth as Jagai and Madai. Have you heard that before? I was surprised to hear that. So they are those same Jai and Vijay. So Narottam Das Thakur is saying, I am more sinful than Jagai and Madai. Hmm. So only Lord Nityananda, he says, can help us to come out of this abominable condition if one is very sinful. Only he can help us because Lord Nityananda is intoxicated with ecstatic love for Krishna. So very powerful. Not just love, ecstatic love, which means the moment there is any talk about Krishna, the moment there is a picture of Krishna, anything, immediately he would go in ecstasy. That means rolling on the ground, tears coming out, yeah, hair standing on end, laughing loudly for no reason. These are all ecstatic symptoms. One time, one disciple of Prabhupada came to him and he said, Prabhupada, I'm feeling all these ecstatic symptoms. I'm crying without any reason. I'm laughing without any reason. And tears are just falling out. What should I do? Prabhupada said, keep chanting, this will go away. Because these are all fake. Those who get these symptoms, they don't advertise it, right? They don't advertise, oh, now I was crying and I was rolling on the ground. I remember first time when we went to Mayapur, my husband and I. So they took us on parikrama, and I think it was Ekachakra. And there, I think it was Jayapataka Maharaj who was saying, anyone who rolls in this sand, in this dust, will go back to Godhead. And all of us were rolling one after the other, goal, we just rolling. Why? That desire was there to go back to Godhead. Yes, so this rolling on the ground and all these ecstatic symptoms, they come only to pure advanced devotees, and that is of course the Supreme Lord himself, Lord Nityananda. And he says he's an incarnation of mercy. And we can increase our bhakti only when we get the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Srila Prabhupada says Lord Nityananda is the original spiritual master. Original. So when we please our spiritual master, for us it is Gopal Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, the whole parampara, Lord Nityananda, they are all our spiritual masters. So when we please them, then they will shower mercy and then our bhakti will increase. Bhakti comes from bhakti. Bhakti comes from bhakti. So the more bhakti we perform, the more we'll become purified and the more we would want to do bhakti. So if we perform bhakti with sincerity, then progress is very easy. And Janardhan Maharaj was saying sincerity means focus, right? A girl has just got married and her husband comes in the room and she says, I love you, but I love that neighbor also, that neighbor also, that neighbor also. Does it work? It doesn't work. It has to be focus. Love only the husband, right? So similarly, Krishna wants our full focus, our full attention. Not that we love this one, that one, that one, that one, and Krishna also. No. He wants Ekam, only himself. So if we are focused and if our mind is not running everywhere, yes, someone said something? No. Okay, I thought I heard something. Kaano mein goonj raha hai something. So if we are focused and our mind is concentrating on bhakti, just bhakti for the Supreme Lord, that pleases Guru very much. Because then we are following the instructions of the Guru. What does the Guru want? He doesn't want us to give him our bank balance. He doesn't want anything at all. All he wants is to see his disciples progress spiritually. So it's very important that we contemplate on our bhakti at least once a week or once a month or once every few months. We try to figure out, where am I in bhakti, right? Sometimes the mind may say, oh, you are such a first class devotee, you don't need to worry at all, everything is fine, and you just do what you are doing, you're on the right path. But it's very, very important to see that, are we progressing or not? One time I had heard in a class that we should live our life in such a way that any time Guru walks in, what does he see? Now, we should not think that our spiritual master has left the planet so he cannot see. He can see. He is seeing. He's watching. So when he's watching, what does he see us do? Harinam Sankirtan, but sometimes we do other things also. Right? What are we doing? Are we gossiping? Huh? Are we wasting time? Are we, instead of reading Srila Prabhupada's books, are we reading, I don't know if you get here, Filmfare and Femina and Stardust and all, I don't know, right? Some magazine, huh? Or phone, exactly, exactly. We don't need anything. We have our God with us, our God, the smartphone. We worship every day our God. The moment we wake up is, who has sent any message? Oh, I see. No. Right? So when we live our lives in such a way that we can say our Guru is very pleased with us, then we are on the right path. So if I was listening to Sachinandana Maharaj yesterday, he's doing the Japa retreat in New Vrindavan. And he made one devotee hold a big mirror, such huge mirror, showing everybody the mirror. And he said, what do you see? Everyone said, ourselves, right? In the mirror, we see ourselves. Then he put a towel on the mirror and he said, what do you see? They said, nothing. Yeah, but they are not seeing themselves, right? Purpose of mirror is to see ourselves. To see, do I look like Sri Devi today, or do I look like Aishwarya Rai today? What do I look like? Right? He said that is what our heart is, covered up like a towel with the dirt. And that's why we cannot see ourselves and we cannot see Krishna himself. So, such a beautiful example he gave. So, to cleanse the heart, Narottam Das Thakur says, Bhakti, Bhakti, Bhakti. That is the only way. And Srila Prabhupada says, perform bhakti in such a way that the Guru is watching you all the time. See? And Lord Nityananda is also watching us perform bhakti. Lord Nityananda, Narottam Das Thakur says, does not distinguish between good and bad. He is ready to deliver everybody. If he can deliver Jagai and Madai, why can't he deliver? I don't think we are as sinful as Jagai and Madai, are we? Hope not. That only we know, right? Only our heart knows how many sinful activities we've performed. And only we know what is our intention, right? What is our intention? So here Narottam Das Thakur says that Lord Nityananda has delivered Jagai and Madai, so why can't he deliver me? Now Narottam Das Thakur is a pure devotee of the Lord, sent by the Lord himself. He is in strict disciplic succession. And he says, I am so sinful that I'm not fit to talk about Madan Gopal or Lal Govind. Who is Madan Gopal? That's a form that represents love and beauty. This is what Narottam Das Thakur says. And is depicted as a young boy with dark complexion, and he's talking about Krishna. And Krishna is Madan, Gopal, and Lal Govind. And then he talks about the beauty of Krishna, how he is adorned with beautiful clothes and ornaments and the garland, beautiful flower garland of forest flowers. This is all meditation. We can also meditate, not of course while chanting, because Prabhupada says while chanting, we only do chanting, nothing else. We only hear the chanting that we are doing. Then he talks about Govinda, that signifies the shepherd and protector of the world. It is said that Madan Gopal is the chief deity of Vrindavan, and he's the enjoyer of rasa dance with who? With Lalita, Radharani, and other Sakhis. Now, continuing in this chapter, Narottam Das Thakur, he explains that it is important to meditate on the Supreme Lord, not only his form, but his paraphernalia also. Like, for instance, what are the clothes he's wearing? What color is his form? Like a dark cloud. How he is performing rasa dance with the gopis with a beautiful, smiling, lotus like face, and he's a charmer. And he has Radharani on one side and Lalita on the other side. And what is the reason for all these pastimes is he explains that to attract our hearts towards the sweetness of Krishna. Don't we, when we want to build a relationship with somebody, what is important? What do you think is important in a relation to build a relationship?
Knowing that person.
Huh?
Knowing that person.
Knowing that person, which means having knowledge about that person, right? What is that person? What is the name? Just like when the girl is looking for a boy to get married, want to know what's the name, how's the family, where do they live, does he have a house, does he have good bank balance, how much does he earn, does he have a car, etc., etc. Yes or no? I don't know what they ask now. But in those days, this is what parents used to look for, right? To find a suitable boy. But most important is, what is his character? If the family is good, hopefully the boy also is good. The character is good. So, what is it that builds the relationship is knowledge. So, when we hear Krishna Katha, when we hear about Krishna, when we hear about his sweetness, it helps us to get attracted to him. And to the degree we are purified, to that degree we get attracted to Krishna. Does that make sense? Right? It depends on, like they say, like Krishna says, Yathama prapadyante tamstateva bhajamim. As one surrenders unto me, I reward them accordingly. So Krishna sees to the degree that we are surrendering to him. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, he's given us the whole process, the whole package deal. Everything is there. And this process can help us to not only purify our heart, but make it soft like butter. Krishna likes butter, right? So he can steal our hearts like butter. The whole process is so simple. Of course, it's complicated for those who are complicated. But Prabhupada says those who are simple, this process is very simple for them. So when the Lord sees us making sincere efforts towards our spiritual lives, then he showers his mercy and he gives us he qualifies us to be able to see. Excuse me. So he says, how fortunate is that person who receives the mercy of Lord Nityananda? And how fortunate is Narottam Das Thakur who has received this mercy? In fact, Srila Prabhupada says, if we purify ourselves, we can actually see Krishna in the temple. When we go to the temple, we can see him. Now what we see is deity, right? Can we talk to him? Yes. Does he talk to you back? Now, right now it's one-way street, right? But we want to make it two-way street. We want to be able to hear Krishna also. He can hear us, but we are unable to hear him because our ears are not yet purified. Still, a lot of Maha Mantra needs to go inside the ears for it to be purified. So, Srila Prabhupada says that we can see Krishna and we can talk to Krishna, provided we purify ourselves. And here, Narottam Das Thakur is now talking about Lord Krishna as Lord Govinda in the temple in Vrindavan, seated on a throne which is made up of all gems in full glory. And he is guiding us how to get attracted to Krishna and how to attract Krishna towards us. What do you think is, what is it that can attract Krishna to us? Humility, yes.
Devotion.
Devotion, sincerity, following Guru's instructions,
And
chanting, serving, preaching. The goal is to please the spiritual master. Once the spiritual master is pleased, Krishna will automatically get attracted to us. Why? Because the spiritual master is going to give the recommendation to the Lord that here is my disciple who is sincerely trying to perform bhakti yoga. See? And the best way to please the Guru is to chant attentively. Every class, every lecture, he always mentions attentive chanting. He doesn't say chant minimum 16 rounds. He says attentive chanting. In fact, Srila Prabhupada says 99% of our spiritual progress depends on attentive chanting. So here Narottam Das Thakur says that on the left side of Krishna is Radharani and her personal friends, and Krishna enjoys Rasa Lila with them. And Lord Brahma, he's sitting on his lotus seat in his abode, meditating on Krishna and worshipping him. Sometimes people think that Lord Brahma is God. Have you heard that? No? Yeah, they say because they think he's the creator, even though he's a secondary creator, they think he is God. But no, Lord Brahma is meditating and worshipping on Krishna. So one of the verses in this chapter is giving us reference that Lord Brahma is not the Supreme Lord and he's worshipping Krishna. Very, very important, you see. And what is he chanting? He's chanting with 18 syllable mantra. It's called Ashtadasha Akshara. Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Vallabhaya Swaha. So this is the Brahman initiated that Gayatri mantra, which is to be chanted 3 times. Of course, we have different Gayatri mantra that we chant 3 times every day. But the residents of Brahmaloka, they also meditate on Krishna with this mantra. And Prabhupada says there's no difference between meditating and chanting. In Satyuga, meditation. But in Kali Yuga, it's only fire sacrifice. Just making sure no one is asleep with eyes open. Sometimes we have tendency to sleep even with eyes open. So where were we? In Kali Yuga, it is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Why? Because in Kali Yuga, the mind is very disturbed. It is running everywhere. I can guarantee you, all of you sitting here and on Zoom, you all, you're laughing, that means mind did go out of the room. That's natural. This is how the mind works. Prabhupada calls it a monkey that keeps jumping from one branch to another, right? So similarly, the mind starts thinking, oh, I have to do laundry after this, and then I have to go there, and then no. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us a very simple process that just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There's no need to go to a secluded place, which is very difficult. It's not possible for us to live without the phone. I mean, phone is like our God, close to our heart. You know, no one can steal our phone. I cannot live without my phone. One day, 1 hour without phone is a huge deal, right? Because this is God for us. It gives us everything that we want. It gives us news, politics, stocks. What else does it give? I don't know. Right? So, mind is like that. Even when we are chanting, the mind is thinking, let me check my phone and see if there is a message. And if we don't have it on vibrate, then ting ting will keep coming, right? Ting, message has come, ting, email has come. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to calm the mind in Kali Yuga and to be able to think of Krishna, it's important to chant loudly. If we chant on our mind, if we chant very softly, if we chant very fast, then we will not get the benefit that the Maha Mantra should give us. Of course, we know that Gayatri Mantra has to be chanted very softly, mainly in your mind. You know, it should not be heard by anybody. So this is for Gayatri Mantra, but for Maha Mantra, we need to chant loudly. In one of the purports in this chapter, Prabhupada says that Brahma lives in the highest planetary system, and each planet has a predominating deity, and all of them are recommended to worship Govinda. All those residents in all the different planets are recommended to worship Govinda. And we, of course, they have different processes, but we just have to chant and do nothing. Of course, do nothing means follow four regulative principles, associate with devotees, um, read Srila Prabhupada's books, do seva in the temple. All that is a whole package deal. But we are very fortunate that we have an easiest method to go back to Godhead. We are fortunate we are not in Satya Yuga, because then we would have to sit and meditate for 30,000 years. And I'm 100% sure there's no phone over there. No phone, no internet, no TV, no movies. I guess no pizzas. I don't know. That I don't know. But here we have all the facilities and an easy method. So if we take up the advice of Rupa Goswami seriously, then we can make progress. What does he say? Adau Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya Anartha Nivriti. So we have basic faith. That's why we are sitting here and hearing Krishna Katha, right? So now what we need to do is Sadhu Sangha, which we are already doing. We are associating with like-minded people, devotees. And Bhajana Kriya, that's also we are doing. We are hearing and chanting. But the difficult part is Anartha Nivriti. That's where we get stuck. Yes or no? Right? Anarthas, they are like, I had once heard Urmila Mataji has said, they are like gunk. What is gunk? Stick. Yeah, like dirty, sticky stuff which doesn't come off. That's how she explained. Anarthas are like gunk in the heart. It's so difficult to remove. But it becomes easy with mercy of Guru and Krishna. So if we try to associate more with devotees, then it'll become easier to remove the anarthas. Example is our trip to India, right? What was the highlight of trip to India? Association, devotee association. Met so many beautiful devotees, beautiful in the sense, beautiful in heart, both inside out, right? Conversing with them, having prasadam with them, chanting and dancing on the street with them. You still need to forward that video to me. He recorded me dancing in Kurukshetra. I need to see it before it goes viral. I need to delete it if it's horrible. But there was, yes, in Kurukshetra, Janardhan Maharaj was chanting so beautifully. He was like wasn't he making us dance?
Yeah.
Even though we didn't want to.
The video, Mataji?
He took my video.
Why are you not sharing?
So it has to go through
Fine.
no, not auditing. What is it called? Not editing. What is it called?
Process.
No, not filters, huh?
I have to get your approval. to share.
Exactly. There is a word for there's a word for that approval. What is it called? No. It has to go through screening. Screening also has another word. I cannot. Huh?
Film board.
Censoring.
Sensory, yes.
Thank you, Aditi. Censoring is needed. Yes. So that highlight was devotee association, and we got the opportunity to learn from each other. It was so inspiring, motivating, rejuvenating. Didn't we feel like our spiritual batteries are charged? So very beautiful. I wish we could have that every month. Of course, we won't get permission to go to India every month.
Is it at a temple, Mataji, on the streets?
On the streets.
Really?
Yes, on the streets in Kurukshetra, going from Milan Mandir, where Radha and Krishna meet, in Kurukshetra, and go all the way to Brahma Sarovar. It's a long, what, at 30, 40 minutes, right? It took us, oh, you were not there. You were there, 30, 40 minutes. You've seen that, right? 30, 40 minutes, dancing and chanting, and everybody in ecstasy. And all those on the streets were also joining. These college students and all, they were so happy to see everybody happy. You see, this is what devotee association does. It makes us to be more compassionate, to be more kind, to be more friendly, to be more considerate of others. And it also teaches us to avoid Vaishnava aparadh. Very, very important. And those 3 days in Vrindavan, the 3-day event, we heard so many realizations, right? And there's so many realizations posted on WhatsApp group also. So beautiful, right? And I was shocked in Vrindavan when we were sitting in the hall hearing realizations, and I was standing to talk to somebody, and here comes one lady running in full speed, and she came and she hugged me so tight that we both almost fell. And then I wanted to see who is that, and I was shocked. That was my student 30 years ago in Juhu, who was now second initiated, and she still remembered. And there was tears of joy meeting after 30 years. That's a long time. And we both had lost contact because I came to the US and she went to Chandigarh. And where did we meet? In Guru Maharaj's room. First time. She was working for, I think, an insurance company, and she was visiting Juhu because she was on a conference, during conference in Juhu from Chandigarh, and then she came, to see a sadhu, and she's sitting there, and I was sitting there, and Guru Maharaj said, preach to her. And then afterwards, when we came outside, I started preaching to her and talked, and 2-3 days we spent together, and then we met after 30 years. So happy to know that she took up Krishna consciousness seriously, and she got initiated from Guru Maharaj. And now she's doing wonderful preaching in Chandigarh. And guess what? When I went to Kurukshetra, she was there too. And in Rath Yatra, there's someone hugging me from behind, and there she is. I'm like, what are you doing here? She said, what are you doing here? I said, I've come for this yatra. Oh, she said, I wish I knew, then I would have taken you to Chandigarh, but we didn't have time, right? It was like really very, very tight. But what is the point? Association. Devotee association can be so rejuvenating. You see? So this is how we can increase our association of devotees. Whatever excuses we may have, I don't have time, or I am very busy, or I have to go here, there, whatever, keep it aside and find ways to associate. Just pick up the call and say, hey, I'm coming over. Will anyone say no?
Yes.
Okay, how about taking an appointment? How about taking an appointment? Ram, can I come at 10 o'clock? Can I come at 10 o'clock? Is it convenient? If not, 11, 12, whichever works, right? So we make that effort for association. We may not do much in that association. We may just look at each other. We may just open a book and read. Or we may just confide in each other, whatever it may be. Devotee association is very, very powerful. So here, Narottam Das Thakur is saying that if we have the determination, then automatically we progress spiritually. And our progress becomes an inspiration, source of inspiration for other devotees. You see? So this is how we can somehow or the other make more time for devotee association. I was listening to one class. Was it yesterday? I think. Yes, yesterday I was listening to Houston temple class, and this devotee was talking about one devotee who lives in India, and his name is Balram Govinda Das. I don't know if you all have heard about him. And uh, he's a jeweler, and he has 100 jewelry stores in India, and it's called Thanga Mail Jeweler. Have you heard of Thanga Mail Jeweler? I guess it's in South India. It sounds like South Indian name, right? So he has 3,000 employees. He's initiated, disciple of Jayapataka Maharaj, and every morning it's a fixed time Zoom call with all employees. 3,000 employees every morning. They all will chant one round together, and he will talk on Srimad Bhagavatam for 15 minutes. Then they can go to work. Then he has, and all employees have to chant one round every day without fail. And they have to attend this morning session every day. And 100, so in a group of 100, so he has opened a temple also. So a group of 100 will go to the temple for morning program. Then next day, another 100 will go for morning program. And there also they'll chant, they'll do the morning program, and he will give class 15 minutes. Then he has leaders in each store, 100 stores. That means 100 leaders. And all those leaders chant 16 rounds and are initiated. And they are the ones who guide the others. Isn't that amazing? So he makes sure that he's not only giving them a job, materially he's helping them, but spiritually also he is helping them.
It is forced preaching, Mataji.
Forced
And they
preaching?
can't and they can't even say no because they
Well,
will lose their job.
well, if it didn't give them pleasure, it didn't give them happiness and satisfaction, they would find another job, right?
Of course, yeah.
And he's not asking them to gamble or drink or cheat or steal or anything. He's telling them to be Krishna conscious. And he himself wears dhoti kurta, and you will see him doing seva everywhere. It's not he says, oh, I am the malik of 100 stores, 3,000 employees, so I should be suited booted. No. So all the employees, so that reminded me, Raja Rishi is a Raja and a Rishi also. He's helping his praja, the 3,000 employees, in such a great way. Absolutely wonderful. I was very inspired to
And he was giving a lecture in Houston.
no, not he,
No,
another
somebody
devotee,
was talking about
Radheshyam Prabhu from Chapati temple, no, Pune temple. He's visiting Houston, so he was giving the class, and he was talking about this Balram Govinda Das.